I tried opening the door at the front, but they didn't open it, so now I'm walking around the building. I guess we off to a great start, I don't know.
All right, we have a lot of familiar faces out here, and if we're not familiar with anybody, I need y'all to come together and get familiar with them. So what I want you to do right now, everybody at your table, I want y'all to follow each other.
Today, y'all are getting ready with me to go to a content creator event. I figured it'd be cute to do a nice before and after video. So this is me before. I'm excited to go. This is like my first content creator event. I hope I learned something. I'm taking like a notebook, tripods, etc. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But I feel like it'd be cute to do like a little before and after video, you know? That way we could say, yeah, this is my thoughts before and then this is my thoughts after. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's not a dud, because that'd be sad. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now let's do some makeup. Also, if you see me looking this way and if you see me looking that way, that's because my camera's, y'all is TikTok and y'all is YouTube. I want y'all to say hello to each other. By the way, if you ain't follow me on TikTok or YouTube yet, now is the time to do that. But anyways. Okay, so this is what the outfit looks like. I want y'all to get a good look at it too. So this is what the outfit looks like. You know, looking good in all our faces. If y'all want to see the full thing, you know, then you can see it on my TikTok. And this is what it looks like from the back. You know, your girl is snatched. And then we got ourselves jackets. So for the time being, this dress is transformed, honey. So for the time being, we're gonna wear the jacket.
So easy for me to say.
Our purse. So this is what our purse looks like. It has, you know, the tripod and got like a textbook and like batteries and stuff like that. You know, all the essentials. You know, cutie. So we got this. When I would arrive, we just do like that. And can I get your jacket? Thank you. And hang it up. And then this is when we transform and walk in. Got to walk. You know. So yes, the dress is the moment, but we also like the curls too, because the curls are bouncing. So I went simple, like that's what I went for. I was very simple. Got a necklace. I like a little gold necklace and a gold bracelet. So that's what we went for. Just a little gold. If y'all know me, I'm a gold girly. So nice little gold necklace and a gold bracelet. Very simple, very demure, very mindful, very cute. Okay, so let's get ready to head out. I'm gonna put the left. Ooh, yeah, that. And I'm gonna pack you up. And you are gonna be recording for the main thing. So yeah, that you will be. Let's close this up now till we reach there. I tried opening the door at the front, but they didn't open it, so now I'm walking around the building. I guess we off to a great start, I don't know. Honestly, I thought this would be an Evans. It's not. So see. And this side.
You get going at every stop, baby. Oh, it's showing. If I should stay, you find a reason to leave. When I'm busy, that's the time you are free. Just tell me, what should I do? How can I get how can I get through? How can I get through? Tell me, baby, please. How can I get through? How can I get through to you? How can I get through? With every step you take to, I keep reaching out to you. If I go left, then you turn to the right. I'm walking in darkness, bring me into the light. Just why can't you give me a chance? You keep running
everyone, and welcome to the Creator Circle event. Everybody's actually looking good, hair laid, nails done, looking good, you know. All right, we have a lot of familiar faces out here, and if we're not familiar with anybody, I need y'all to come together and get familiar with them. So what I want you to do right now, everybody at your table, I want y'all to follow each other, just so we can network. I'm your host, Amber. I'm hosting and moderating this session on content creation. We are here today to explore topics such as community growth, longevity in the creator space, monetization, TikTok shop, and most importantly, mental health and the deal with social media, such as creating content. Lastly, the future of content creation. With some knowledge to propel your social media journey. So today we have an exceptional group of panelists to introduce to you, so let me get this started. So we have Sierra, we have Bree, we have Daniel, we have Anisha, and we have Champagne. Now, with content, because apparently it was a lot easier to go viral then as opposed to now.
Yes, so when you lift the hood up a little bit, I've also worked for a lot of companies doing social media marketing as well. And back then when the content or when the platforms were fairly new, they were just allowing stuff to get pushed dramatically. And so back then, and I was just speaking with a few people earlier, you post a viral video and your followers just come rolling in real quick. And now the algorithm has shifted, so the followers kind of trickle in. They still get there, but they trickle in. So then you come to the third point I was gonna make is consistency. So you have to be consistent with it and keep that rotation going so that you become kind of favorable to the algorithm and it starts pushing you out in front of people.
So what are the other panelists saying? What do you think? What would you say is the biggest challenge in the field we face right now as content creators?
I think just trying to set yourself apart from other content creators because I don't want to say it's oversaturated because there's room for everybody else, but if you come in trying to do what you already see, then you won't be as successful. People love to see real people talk about real things. They love to just get into your world and just see what you're doing.
I have an unconventional take. I would say AI. I feel like there's a huge AI boom right now, and a lot of what's happening is like this manufactured content. I've seen like fake AI creators. I saw a makeup transition the other day. I clicked on it in the comments. The girl wasn't even a real girl. And so I think what we're seeing now, and I want to piggyback again off of what Bree said, is a return to the feeling of authenticity and wanting creators that feel like people and not this super hyper curated. I know there's such a like urge to be perfect online, but so much of that knee-jerk reaction to be perfect is what's inhibiting your growth because people want to see who you really are, not the perfect curated version of you, but the real you. And I think that's what continues to build community.
So Sarah, what would you say is the biggest challenge you face in our field as it relates to this?
So as far as content creating and mental health, you're putting yourself out there for people to consistently judge you. And your brains really aren't wired to take in all of this criticism daily. It's not wired to take in thousands of comments or thousands of people's opinions daily. So if you're the type of person that likes to go in the comments and be in the comments, and then you're not strong enough to, well, I don't want to say strong enough, and you're not equipped enough to take that in and still remain who you are, then you take a risk of losing yourself. So I learned a lot from my kids. So yesterday while we were at dinner, my sons asked me, did I want to learn about the purpose of an author? It's like it's easy as pie. And I want to apply that to content. So if you're going in to persuade, inform, or if you're going in to entertain, you need to know that that is what you're going to do and not let the outside people come in and influence you to change who you are at your core. Because at the end of the day, are you going to be proud of what you put out, or are you going to be posting a video in the next few days? I didn't mean for that to go viral. So you need to ensure that what you're doing is what you want to do for yourself. And that you can take that and be proud of who you are and just not changing who you are, not changing your values just to please everyone else.
What would you say is the biggest challenge we face in our field when it comes to content creation?
Oh my goodness. One of the biggest challenges that we face is a lot of us want to be visible and not valuable. You've got to bring something to the table. Think about it this way. if you're invited over to family dinner for Thanksgiving, everybody's gonna say, I'm gonna bring this, I'm gonna bring this, I'm gonna bring this. They're doing that because they wanna feel valued. They wanna feel a sense of value. They don't wanna be that person that's coming to dinner and all they're doing is taking. They're taking the to-go plates. They're taking things away. So when you get with these brands and you want them to value you, you have to show them why they should value you. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to them? And also get out of your head that followers matter, because they don't, okay? There's so many people in my field who have a very small amount of followers, but are making crazy money because they've learned that there's a way to convert your videos, and it's all about being authentic and being you and putting that story out there so that you can gain your audience. And then once you gain your audience, like, that is it. The road to success is like there. So just think about it this way. Do I want to go sit at the table with nothing? Do I want to just be there and be visible? Or do I want to add value to the table? Do I want to bring the dessert? Do I want to bring the wine? Do I want to bring whatever it is that you want to bring that makes you feel valuable? That's how those creators, or not creators, but that's how the brands are going to look at you. They're going to look at you as in, what can you bring to them? And it's not what you brought to them last year, because they're going to be on to the next person in the next month, 30 days. So it's what can you bring to them every single time you go to them. Make sure that you're taking your value, you're taking your rate card with you, but you're also standing strong, 10 toes down on what you can bring to them.
Thank you very much. All right, moving right along. Champagne. Where's your aha moment that changed your perspective about social media and content creation? And do you think people should be leaning more into the creative side these days?
So I think my aha moment was recognizing that there was power in the things that I thought that I should be hiding, and then the connectivity that I was seeking, the community that I wanted to grow, like I said earlier, needs to know me. So instead of me turning on the camera and trying to decide how I'm gonna show up, just show up as who I am. And I started talking authentically and genuinely the way I talk to somebody when I call them FaceTime, talking to people, because it's not really just followers and a number that you're seeing. There are people who are consuming your content, who want to know you, who want to either know that they're not alone and feel seen, or want to see a story like yours, want to see, why do we watch movies? For the underdog, right? And you don't have to go, I'm not saying go out there and share all your business, but it's important to be authentic and to be yourself and show up as yourself. I think that was my aha moment. I kept going viral for running my mouth, and I was like, what is going on? I keep trying to put on makeup and wigs and be cute, and I'm not going viral for that. But every time I turn on my camera, I start running my mouth, I start going viral. And it hit me, oh, people want to know me. Not just see, oh, here I'm like being very superficial, but being who I really am, the way that my friends and family members know and love me. And I think that was the aha moment for me. That was like, be yourself, be you, and not just a caricature of what you think you're supposed to be as an influencer, especially in the beauty space. I think there's like a beauty archetype of like what a beauty influencer looks like, and it's really easy to fall into that trap when you see all the other beauty girls getting beauty deals to like look like that. The most powerful thing is sharing your own story and being who you are. So that was my aha moment. I think creativity too plays a huge part. The more creative you can get with telling your story, because no one can tell your story like you do, the better. I think creativity is severely lacking, but I think it's less to do with, and I'm not trying to be shady, I think it's less to do with people not having creativity. I think it's more to do with people overthinking. You know, I think a lot of times we get in our head, and the creative idea we have, we think, I've never seen anybody do anything like that before. People are gonna laugh. People are gonna make fun of me. My hometown people are not gonna like this. Your creativity lies right there. You think about it, do it. Shorten the time frame between thought and action. And yeah, that's my a little long-winded.
So was there ever a point in time you made like content that felt, I guess not really inauthentic, but it took more time for you to make versus what you make now?
Yes. So I got really into like editing. I was like, so I started out on YouTube. I started on YouTube in 2016, back in like beauty YouTube era, long form. And I had to learn everything from scratch. I started off with Mondavi video editor. It was like an old clunky video editor. And slowly I started learning Final Cut Pro and plugins and how I adjust the colors and camera quality and DSLR and lighting. And I've gone through so much lighting and so much equipment I can't even tell you. And I started to realize that as I shortened the time frame between when I thought of an idea to when I executed it, that's when I started to see results. I realized that a lot of that like curation and let me make sure I have my makeup just right and the background has to look like this and my camera quality and let me buy another light. I can't tell you how many times I slept on ideas and didn't create things because I thought I wasn't ready yet. Because I thought I didn't have the right camera or the right lighting. And then I turned on my phone, front-facing camera. I didn't need the little back selfie camera they keep trying to sell you on TikTok. Turned on my front-facing camera, recorded a video just talking, 10 million views. And those are the types of results you get when you shorten that time frame, right? The first thought is usually what you should go with, and it's who you really are. It's when we start overthinking it and trying to edit ourselves down that we lose the plot, and we lose our community and our base.
Now, her aha moment was very professional. Mine was not, okay? And mine was real quick. Mine was easy. I hated my job. And I used to interview young kids. And I say young kids because I am a middle-aged woman, almost 50. I used to interview these young kids, and they would look at me crazy when I would tell them how many hours they would have to work each week. And I was like, why are they looking at me like this? And one of those kids told me, we don't have to work like this. And I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. What do you mean we don't have to work like this? And he started explaining to me that there's other avenues out there to make money, the same kind of money that he was like, you can make more money doing this. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I said, okay, let me start exploring. So that's what I did. I started exploring. And I knew that it was going to be consistency, and I knew that it was going to take a lot of work because I was working 14-hour shifts. And I was in there, the swing shift, there's somebody in here that worked there right now, bless your heart. But I was working swing shifts and 14-hour shifts, and it was, well, there were 12-hour shifts, but I was a supervisor, so I had to be there a little extra.
Talk about me?
I'm talking about you, yes I can, bless your heart. But I realized that it only took a little bit. And it was the little bit that it took was me gaining the knowledge, me figuring out, okay, wait a minute, there's a different way out. So my aha moment was looking at these young kids that can go out and stay in high-rise apartments, and they can go and travel the world, and they can do all these different things. But here I am working this job every day, barely making ends meet, not trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. It wasn't that I was doing something wrong because I was showing up every day. I was consistent, right? I was consistent on that job. I wasn't consistent for myself. And when I became consistent for myself, my world turned upside down. I was able to leave that job in January of 2024. Praise God.
And Anisha, since we're already on you, what are the most underrated ways to be monetized on social media? Because I know you know.
Oh yes, I do. Okay, so there are three ways that are very underrated. One is UGC content, okay? UGC content. Get you a rate card. Create you a rate card and start pitching yourself to brands, okay? I don't care what the brand is. If it's toothpaste that you use every morning, pitch yourself to them. They have an email address, okay? If it's shampoo that you use, pitch yourself to them, okay? It don't matter what it is. If it's something that you love, this is 1A, okay? So that's one. One is pitching yourself with UGCs, right? 1A is making sure that whatever you are trying to promote, you love it, okay? Don't go out there promoting something that you don't like or you don't love. People are going to know. When I tell you you're gonna come off very fake and salesy, people are going to know, all right? Number 2, TikTok shop. If at least one person in your household is not on TikTok shop selling, you are doing life wrong. I'm just gonna be real honest with you. If at least one person in your house is not on TikTok Shop selling, you are doing life wrong. And you do not have to be a salesperson to sell on TikTok Shop. You just have to show up as you, okay? Authentically you. Talk about what you love. I guarantee you, there are products in your house right now that you use every day that are on TikTok Shop. Absolutely guarantee you that. And third, you are your brand. Marketing, digital marketing, affiliate marketing isn't going anywhere. You are your brand. Use social media to its potential, to its fullest potential. Create your own brand. Create your own company, okay? I also not only do social media, TikTok Shop, all the things, but I have a jewelry company, okay? I created my audience. I have my niche. As a matter of fact, Miss Yolanda, could you stand up and show them a little couple pieces of my jewelry? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All stainless steel, tarnish free, good quality pieces of jewelry. But it's because I created that audience with the people that follow me, and they know that I'm only going to put out things that I love. So why would I create a brand for myself and not show things that I love, not sell things that I love? So UGC, TikTok Shop, and creating your own brand are the most underrated things that you can do on social media these days.
So out of the 3 ways you explain to be monetized, which one would you say is the easiest to start with?
TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. You don't have to buy a course. All you have to do is set your phone up. You don't even have to have light. You don't have to have sound. You don't have to have nothing, okay? Because like she said earlier, people are using AI to create videos. And if they can use AI to create videos, you can prop that phone up, talk for 30 seconds, and create your video. And you don't have to pay nobody, but now you do have to have over 5,000 followers on TikTok to get into the TikTok Shop program. But if you were before the 5,000 followers, then it was only 1,000 followers at the time. But once you get there, all you do is start talking about the things you love. It is free to do. You add that link to your video, and baby, let that video sit there. Do not, and I repeat this, do not delete your videos. I am still making money off of videos when the TikTok Shop first started in 2023, okay? Don't delete your video.
All right, so Bree, what steps do you take to stay true to yourself in a high-pressure environment such as social media?
Okay, so I do food reviews. And so doing food reviews get a little tricky because people don't play by their stuff. And so when I first started, I got out the Army and I didn't have anything to do because everybody was at work. So I would just go out to eat and I started recording myself. And so I just started like posting the videos online. And I didn't think that it was gonna go as far as it is now, because now I actually get paid to do food reviews. People invite me out all the time, like throughout the week. But I'm very honest about the food, but not to the point where I'm putting the business down, but just like, oh, you know, just need a couple of shakes of Lowry's, you know, it was a little dry. I would just take it out a little bit earlier. I always, you know, give my little recommendation, but that's why people love me. Now I have the capacity to be able to like, I'll post a review in the next 2 days, that whole restaurant will be just packed with people. And so I think it's because I am honest and people can see that. And one thing about food and anything, you can always change it, you can always fix it. So a lot of people, they focus on the likes and views, because if you messy, because I used to be on messy TikTok, I used to yeah, so that's gonna get you the likes and the views, but if you really wanna build community and build an audience and have, you know, a brand, then you just have to be careful how you say certain things. But yeah, I would say just being honest, it'll take you a long way, and people will trust you and to give you that platform that you need to be able to do whatever you want to do. Because now I don't only do food reviews, I get my nails done for free. People pay me to do my nails, people pay me to do my daughter's nails, and I just get a lot of opportunities to do different things around the city just because people know that people trust my opinion and my voice. So I would just say, just be honest. Be honest, but don't be nasty about it. Alright?
Can I piggyback off that?
No.
You're right. You know, so in the TikTok shop world, people always would make this comment, and it's funny to me because when I look at it, it's like you really don't understand it. They will say, "You like everything you show us," and my comment to them is, "I sure do. I absolutely do," because posting a negative video for me does nothing for my pockets. It doesn't do anything for me. So if it's something somebody sends me and I don't like it, I just email the company back and say, "Hey, your product is this, your product is that, I don't like it." And then they'll email me back and say, "You know what, we're gonna work on it, we'll revamp it, we'll send it back to you when it's, better," or whatever the case is. But posting and being in the negative TikTok world or negative social media world, it, like she said, it'll give you a few likes and clicks in the beginning, but after a while, there's gonna be brands that are not gonna wanna work with you because you're messy. You gotta really, really, really think about your image when you're, getting on there and you're pressing that doggone record button.
And to piggyback off of that as well, remembering the point is to build community, right? Especially if you at some point want to monetize. If you have a community that sees you as just messy, they will turn on you just as quickly as they turned and just to tune in to you tear somebody else down, right? That's not a community it's not a community, right? It's just people who are tuning in for the mess. And you'll see very quickly, you see people who create these types of like commentary videos that are like kind of rage bait or clickbait, and then next thing you know, it's their turn to have the whole internet turn against them, and then there's a whole new whatever drama mess. Like everybody's mentioned before, it's kind of like a cheap, it's like the fast food of content creation, right? It's a cheap way to get views, right? But you're not gonna remain consistent, you're not gonna remain relevant unless you're talking about somebody else, and that's the worst place to be at, where you have to make a video about somebody else to remain relevant on the internet, right? There's a power in being yourself, there's a power in honoring your community and providing them value and consistently showing up as you and being the person that they can trust to be genuine and have integrity. And just like everybody was saying, you have to be able to handle not only criticism, right, but also to be able to like stand in your own truth and stand in your own power and be you. And somebody saying you only show stuff that say that you like stuff when you show it. I only show you things I like, because why would I show you things that I don't like? What benefit is that to you, right? So that you can get a chuckle out of something that we don't like, right? Like that's thinking of fostering a positive community, because it is your corner of the internet. So what you do with it is up to you.
It's really quick. As far as being negative, it may get you your attention right then, but does it create longevity? And like she was saying, the tables will turn. So you may have this community that rides with you while you're negative, but as soon as it's your turn to be on the other end of that, are you ready to accept that? Are you ready to be that persona that you created online out there in the real world? Because you have to remember, there is a life outside of social media. You have to go outside. When people approach you as that person that they see you online being in that negative light, are you able to handle it? Is that something that's going to make you proud? And when the tables turn, what are you going to do? So make sure that you're able to be the person who you are online and make sure that translates out into the real world, or your mental health will take a hit. You're going to have to be prepared for that.
Just real quickly, I know a lot of this is what we're discussing is very, very true. It's about self. Also, be careful who you associate with in terms of social media. I'm just going to share a quick example. I was at another meetup in Tennessee years ago, and there was a particular creator that was massive. And he made a mistake before he came to that meetup, and that drama followed him. And everybody who was featured in the videos with him had a massive unfollowing, and they all took hits. So just as an example, be careful who you're around, do your research, know who you're around. Because if you don't know that, then you're going to get pulled in and be guilty by association as well when those things happen. And then the last thing I'll add as well, kind of going back to the aha moment too. My aha moment is finding out my why. They kind of said it in a different way, but when you find out your why, the followers don't necessarily matter, and then you're able to get up early in the morning if you need to because you know why you're doing it. So finding your why and your purpose will go a long way to dealing with being tired sometimes or overwhelmed because you know your why. And I had a particular person who, when I found that out, she was probably 300 to 400 pounds. She followed me from the very beginning. and she saw what I was doing from a dance perspective. I was very encouraging. She went and lost almost 100, 200 pounds, and she's not only dancing, she's teaching dance, and she didn't do that before. So we have power as creators that we probably don't even realize. And that's why a lot of what we're saying matters so much, being authentic and things like that, because we have that power to influence so much.
Thank you, Daniel. So, Sierra, as a therapist, how can social media be harmful to your mental health?
So social media can be harmful to your mental health because, like I was saying before, you have to know who you are. If you're a person who's ready to internalize that, are you going to be able to continue with what you're doing? Or are you going to change and transform into who they want you to be? And then if you transform, are you going to be excited to do it, or are you making that out of obligation? So some days you may wake up and now you're anxious to post, and now you're posting and deleting because you're worried about what you see. Or you're going to see somebody who creates the same type of content that you make, and if you're not comfortable in yourself, oh, I have to change this, I have to change this, and then you're not authentic. Now you're just copying what someone else is doing. Thank you for what they're doing. On the social media. So it can tarnish your mental health because you can lose who you are. And please, take days off. Whether you have to both create content on a Monday so you can take on Tuesday and Wednesday, do so. Because you need, if this is going to be your job and your source of income, you have to make sure that you are able to take days off, because although social media can be fun for people, it can create burnout. And once you burn out, it's going to affect your relationship pattern. It's going to affect how you're showing up. People who are in your regular life. These people don't know you. They don't know who you are, they don't know what you have going on for yourself. And you have to make sure that the person to the left and the right, the people who are living in your house, are still getting the version of you who are proud of. You have to make sure that your children, your trauma, and your pain, your hurt from what these comments are going on in social media, make sure that's not what it's on. So just make sure that you are true with yourself, because it's an all-out world out there on social media, and people are very unaware. Like I said, they don't know you and you don't know them. And people get the secrets and they start doing what they want to say on social media, and they're not going to see you. So if you're going to be internalizing that, make sure you go to therapy.
Because the comments are hilarious until it's under your video. Then it's not funny no more. You're like, oh wait, I don't like that. Y'all dragging me, I don't like that. And it really is something that will affect your mental health. I'd like that you mentioned batch creating too, because that's a way that you can create more schedule and organize.
I'll just say real quick, there's a button called delete for a reason. And it's tempting to respond, but there's also a whole side of TikTok that exists for responses. And it's just, it's again, guilty by association. You start responding to stuff, and that's the personality that brands remember, is how you're reacting to people. So it's important, and normally I just delete instead of spending effort and time, just delete it and get rid of it and don't look at it anymore.
What's your advice on securing brand deals and working with brands?
Like I said before, knowing your value, right? Knowing what you're gonna bring to the table, and sticking to it. When you reach out to the brands, just make sure that it's a brand that you absolutely want to work with, not just a brand that you're just trying to pitch because you feel like it's gonna be an easy deal to get. And it's so funny. You will pitch a deal to a brand not thinking that they're gonna respond to you, and then you'll get a response. And then you're like, okay, what do I do with that? You do exactly what you was thinking you were gonna do with before you sent them the email in the first place, right? You go ahead and you communicate with them, let them know what you can bring to the table, what your value is. And then when it comes down to the money part of it, people are not gonna wanna tell you what they charge brands, or they're gonna, now that's gatekeeping to its finest. Do you hear me?
That's so true. Gatekeeping with rates is so common. One of the things that I will give that's like practical advice that I will say is take a look at your analytics and definitely pitch to brands. Like she was saying, make sure that you pitch to brands. One way that you can pitch to brands is a lot of people will say, well, I don't know how to contact them. Utilize LinkedIn. Most companies have like a director of marketing, someone that is creator relations, public relations, and handles PR for the brand. You can get their email addresses either from LinkedIn, you can DM the brand directly. I've done that on Instagram and say, hey, do you have a number for creator partnerships? or an email for creative partnerships, they will 9 times out of 10 give you the email, and then you can send a pitch email to the brand directly that way. So that's the way that you contact brands. You can utilize sites like Canva to create your own rate card, to create a media kit. They're very self-explanatory, and you can list out your rates, the things that you charge for, usage rights.
It's a lot. You know, we can go on and on, right? But the biggest thing is, you know, reaching out to them.
Yeah,
And they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, you can get in their DMs. I mean, you'll get in somebody else's DMs about foolishness, right? Why not get in the DMs about some money? Why not get in the DMs about doing these brand deals, right? But just making sure that you're consistent with what you're doing. You know, you gotta, like I said, show up for yourself, be consistent with you, and then the brand will take you a little bit more serious when it comes down to it. And sometimes the brand will tell you no immediately up front. You're gonna hear more no's than you will hear yeses, I can promise you that. But use ChatGPT to, you know, full its potential, to help you create those emails to send out to these brands. And then make sure that when you're getting those no's, that you're still responding to them. You're telling them to stay in touch with me. You know, if you guys change your mind, if it's something different, or ask them, what exactly are you looking for? Right? There's nothing wrong with asking that question. What are you looking for? What type of content creator are you looking for? And then if that's the brand that you really want to work for, go work on yourself. And then come back to them when you're ready.
You can ask them too to be added to future campaigns, like potential future campaigns. That's how I've done a lot of PR in the past. But there's brands that didn't necessarily want to work directly with me initially when I was at a smaller level, like follower-wise, engagement-wise, that would send me PR, and then later on, ultimately, we would end up doing paid partnerships. So they will spend a lot, but it's good to kind of get your foot in the door. And you know, you're building relationships. It's all about relationship building, not only just with your community, but with brands as well.
Just to add real quick too, there's levels to this. There's levels to this. So I worked on the side where I was with a company for hiring like you guys. And so in terms of the high pay, we talk about, oh, how can I make $10,000 for a post or something crazy? That part of it, they're looking for it. Anything you submit, we're probably not looking at. We're looking for it. So that's where it comes to making sure your brand is presented well, make sure you're presented well in terms of what you want, because we have software that literally will search you guys and your engagement rates and things like that. And it's also got to match what the need is, right? So my particular company I worked with was a grill company, so the demographic was probably like, you know, 30, 40, 50-year-old men, and so we're looking for that. So if you're a female and you're like, oh, I wanna work with you guys, it may not work unless your whole thing is grills. Then maybe it will, because that allows us to dip into a different market. So those are little things to think about, but also remember, you can tap every brand on the shoulder by just tagging them. So when you're going out to eat at your favorite restaurant, take a picture and tag them in your stories. And you can do that 1,000 times in a week. And they will respond, they'll share it because it's attention for them. And then they may like it, they may shoot you a message, and they'll communicate sometimes that way. And don't be afraid, I know some people may be like, oh, don't tell them that, but don't be afraid to do things for an exchange of a gift if you're just starting. When you're starting a job, sometimes like internships, right? You start early with like an internship, or you're not getting paid a whole lot when you start. Be willing to do that in this world. Be willing to do that, because then you can build your brand kit. And you can build up a reputation of, hey, I've worked with these. So then when you present yourself to these bigger brands, now you look a little bit more approachable. You're like, I could probably use that. So.
That's a good way to segue into UGC too. I've had things like that happen before where a brand I'll send a pitch and say, you know, XYZ, I'm hoping to work on this campaign with you. I know you have this product launch coming up. This is an idea that I have for the brand. And they'll come back and say, oh, you know, we're not looking at this time or whatever, out of budget. They'll send me PR. I'll create content with that PR for free, right? I'm just creating it because I like the product. And then they'll come back and ask me to buy the video. To say, can I buy the rights to that video that you created because I really like it? And now I have a UGC deal where I was initially seeking a brand deal, right? There's a quick $400, $500, $600, $1200. Depending on what you're doing. But instead of me getting the brand deal that I wanted to landlock, I still segued into a UGC deal.
So, Dave, as a choreographer, what trends or tools do you use to grow your following?
So I transitioned a little bit, but right off the bat, as a dancer, trending music is huge. Trying to follow those trends, and I'm big in music. I love all types of music. I'll even go live on TikTok on, if you don't know this, every Thursday night when it hits midnight becomes Friday, brand new music comes out on Apple Music and Spotify. And I'm there live on my TikTok every night. So when music comes out, it's new. If it's a hit, I'm already preparing something for it. And I'm monitoring to see who else is posting. What else is coming out? So just kind of keeping up with the trend side of things. The hashtag side of things is not the same as it used to be. But it's still important to be found within a hashtag regardless. So don't completely walk away from it, still use it. But one thing I also noticed just from a research standpoint, I transitioned probably around January 1st because I went back and looked at my content and I realized a lot of my old school music was hitting on all cylinders. So I committed to that from January 1st to now, and basically all I posted was like 90s and 2000s hip hop and old school stuff and just dancing to that. And there's something about nostalgic that will never die. And it's something about it that people see it, they're like, oh, I remember that song. They'll watch the whole video because they like the song. And it doesn't have to be dance. You can have a trendy song, something nostalgic that's behind a food review. You can utilize them on different things, and then that can still have that same effect. So just figuring out what works for you and then sticking to it.
Awesome. Sierra, where should people draw the line when it comes to making money and protecting your mental health?
Should draw the line when the content costs your piece. If the cost your piece is too much, it's too expensive. So draw the line there. And like I was saying earlier, if you find yourself waking up and you're anxious and you're going back and deleting stuff just because you're worried about what other people are going to say, if you find yourself losing yourself, then draw the line there. Take a break. Take some days off like I mentioned earlier. And then Champagne was mentioning about being prepared to share your story. If you're not in a place where you feel you want to share it, healing out loud is fine. But if you get to a point where you're just talking about it and trying to have everybody else in your business and using that to get money and get views, no, that's too much. You have to be in a space where you're ready for that story to move on. Because healing is excellent. It's not pretty, it's not, it's not what everybody tries to make it seem to be. It's not gonna say healing is messy. It's not gonna be, oh, I'm gonna one day and it's all rainbows and butterflies. No. It's not a straight line, it's not linear. You can be up one day and down one day. And if you are not prepared for people to talk about you, oh, you should have did this, you should have did that, then don't do it. So draw the line when it costs you your piece. Draw the line when you find yourself posting stuff out of obligation for the view. Because you feel like you owe your followers something, because you feel like you owe them your life. Draw the line there, take a step back and reevaluate where you're coming from. Because you owe them nothing, you owe yourself everything.
Now, do you think that negativity makes the most money on social media?
I think that negativity can get you views for the moment, but not longevity. It can get you those views right then and there while it's a popular topic right now. For those 2 weeks that it's popular and then it segues to something else in those next 2 weeks, yeah, you'll get your views then. But what about when you're trying to grow and trying to elevate? And I'm a pivot queen, I pivot a lot. When you're trying to pivot, how are those spaces going to accept you when they go back and they look at your old videos and now you're just being negative and they don't want that brand? And like Daniel was saying, be careful who you associate yourself with as well. Be careful who you hang out with. So yeah, negativity will get you that money for then. But if you're just trying to be a right now person, great, that works. But if you're trying to have longevity, you're trying to build a brand for yourself, build a name for yourself, leave a legacy for your family to follow, then negativity is not good.
So for negativity, right, it'll get you money if you are in a creator fund program, or if you making money off of views alone. But if you're in my world, you're in the market affiliate world, you're in the UGC world, you're in the TikTok shop world, you ain't gonna make no money. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna make no money, because if you're just coming on there to talk about, oh, I got this outfit, it could have been cute, but it was such and such and da-da-da, who's going to buy that from you? Not a single soul, right? And if somebody do buy it from you, they just trying to be funny, because now they want to be in the negative world too, so they can post negatively about it, right? So in my world, negative does not resonate at all. Like it don't live together. Like if you want to come over to my world and be negative, baby, I'm gonna show you the exit though. Like, you got to go. I ain't nothing I can do with you, right? But yeah, that's just if you're going in that direction. Now, if you want to live in the next world, do your thing. You know, hey, I ain't knocking you. Do your thing, but it will come back and bite you in the long run.
That goes back to who you are as your host content. Are you doing it because that's who you are authentically, or are you doing it for? Are you doing it just because you want people to hype you up for the moment? So being able to know who you are. If you want to be that negative person, cool. Live in that. Take that home full force, but also be ready for the consequences that come with it.
Alrighty, so this next question is for everyone, but I'm starting with Champagne. How do you prioritize content creation with such a busy life?
I have to create systems. So for me, the thing that works best is creating not only a schedule, but creating systems. And kind of allowing those systems to guide me and going with the flow. I know it's not as rigid as some people want to like say film on these days, but I have to allow myself to give myself grace on the days when I'm not feeling it, whether I'm burnt out, whether I'm just feeling, discouraged, right? Because sometimes that happens as a creative too, or you're not inspired, right? I'll go back to the archive, repost something that I already had out there, repurpose old content. You have to be able to kind of get creative and be flexible in that way. Sometimes I can repost or, repurpose old things, and they get more views the second time around, or people really resonate with it and really enjoy it. And so I either do that or, I'll go to different mediums. So not only do I have TikTok, but, I also have Instagram or YouTube, or I'll go to a different Facebook even. Facebook right now is, I would argue, it's paying well. Facebook, people sleep on Facebook. And also there's a lot more community. I feel like there's a broader audience on Facebook that we're not really tapped into because TikTok blew up so quickly and people were really trying to, chase TikTok along. But sometimes it just takes changing the platform. Different platforms have different personalities. So, when I'm trying to stay on top of it and stay on top of creating and stay consistent, sometimes I just change platforms and it will change my vibe. I'll post a status on Facebook. I'll go to Threads and drop an idea and then share that to my Instagram and there's my content. And then make a video about that idea and that's on TikTok, right? And that can jog my creativity. That keeps me going when my schedule fails me or when my system fails me. So just making sure you have backups and staying flexible.
Well, I don't have a job, so my life is not that busy, but I do have a dollar. But as far as creating content, one thing that my friend Ashley over there, she taught me, is that everything is content. Before I was just doing food. And I was like, I don't think people care about other stuff. You'll be surprised what people care about. My aha moment, not to go back, but it was have y'all seen the dandelion girl? She collects the dandelion crayon. Well, anyways, the girl on TikTok who collects the dandelion crayon, she got a whole room full of it, and Crayola threw her a whole event. So it just shows that, it's for the crayon. So it just shows that it's always people, it's people that watch mukbangs, no shade. But I think that's so strange to watch people eat because I hate it. But it's people that, they everybody on the internet likes something. So just everything is content and post what you like.
So for me, I didn't start posting with the intent on becoming a content creator. I started posting social work content because I'm a social worker and I was studying for licensure. And in order to hold myself accountable, I started posting. But then I saw how me talking about mental health started helping people. And in addition to that, I recently got out of the Army as well. I have a chronic illness. I have multiple sclerosis. So when I first was diagnosed, nobody got this. I'm the only one who has this, but when I started speaking out about it, okay, now that's helping people too. So realizing that I'm not a unicorn, that people do experience the same real life experiences that I experienced, that's how I found time to create. If I'm going through something, let me just go ahead because this may help somebody. So I entered this in order to help other people, and it's just transition for me. And then, like I said, I have multiple sclerosis, so some days are good, some days are bad. And it took my husband to tell me, just create a bunch of videos on this day and post them as time permits because you have to do what works for you. So I fell into it accidentally, trying to help people. It took my husband to bring me down to earth and tell me to batch create. So that's how I found ways to it. And we were saying everything is something.
Yeah, they've covered a lot. I would just say some little kind of tidbits that could be helpful when you find you don't have a lot of time. She said one of them already was recycling. Go back through your batch of videos, and if one performed well, post it again. I would be willing to bet it performs well again. And you can find out a lot of times that can cover weeks if you just go back and just re-download those things. There's also, and I can talk to many people after this about the little tiny things, but there's things that you can use that can strip watermarks off of each of the platforms. So like if you post on TikTok, when you download it, it has a watermark. Other platforms don't like that. So you can strip the watermark and then repost the same video across all platforms and continue to grow across all platforms. And now you're basically knocking everything out in one time. And then if you post a video, I've learned this over the last 3 years. If you post a video, your video goes viral, notice what sound you used, and I promise you the algorithm will remember you when you post again to that same sound. I actually did a dance to, I think it was Just a Dream by Nelly. I did it a long time ago, and it just skyrocketed. It wasn't my dance I created, but I did it skyrocketed. I did it again, it skyrocketed. I did it probably 11 more times, and every single time was close to 1 million views. I can do it right now, and it'll still get over 100,000 views because it just remembers you. So that allows you not to have to think as much. You can just redo some of the things that you've done that were successful, and continue to do it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I've seen creators that will do a video 3 times in a row. The same video, the same theme, and post them back to back to back. Just the same thing, and it performs well. All 3 of them will. And in some cases, one will, the others won't. Now you know what you did right in that one video that you didn't do right in the others. So there's a lot of little things that you can do, and the last thing I'll say is goal setting. This year, actually, I did it just for the purpose of to share this information with you guys. Up until January 1st, I would always find days where I'm like, I'm not doing nothing today. I just don't feel it. I got home late from work. I gotta rest. But this year I decided I'm gonna post one day every single day for the rest of the year, just to see what would happen. And from January 1st to now, on Facebook, which I agree, there's a massive growth right now happening in Facebook. I gained over 50,000 followers in less than a month on Facebook just from that. TikTok was, I believe, 20, 30,000. And then Instagram, which ironically is the slowest of the 3 right now. And I got a couple thousand of that, but the growth is up, like consistently. And it's reaching way more people. So it's working. So I would encourage you, if you can, whether it be recycling or just repeating something again, post 1 time every day. At least do it for a week. See what happens, and you'll see your numbers start to move, I can promise you.
So for me, it's a lot different than everybody up here. They can post 1 time a day and they'll be fine. I am in what's called a Star Creator Program, where I am in the top 1% of sellers on TikTok Shop, and I have to post 7 to 10 videos a day. So my life is a little bit different, but the way I maintain it and the way I structure it out is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I batch create. I create as many videos as I can, and if I know I got to fly to LA or I got to fly to New York for an event, I'm gonna double up on those days and create as many videos as I can. That way on Tuesday and Wednesday, you know, I'm just editing in small edits. I don't do large edits like they would, because they're only creating 1 or 2 videos a day. You know, versus me, it's like, I got to make sure that I got enough time in the day to figure out some edits. So I do really small edits, and I don't do a lot of retakes of my videos. I can't repost my videos on TikTok Shop. So I can't take the same video and just turn it around and do something different with it, because it can give me a violation. But I do repurpose my videos on Facebook and Instagram, and yes, they are right about, you know, the extra money and all that good stuff over there. But so for me, I batch create, which works wonderfully for me in my world, but everything is content. They can't say that enough. I can't tell y'all how many videos I made before I walked out the door today to come to this event, right? I can't tell y'all how many more videos I'm going to go make this same exact outfit. Why? Because it is a great outfit on TikTok Shop right now by Fashion Nova. And if y'all need the link, I'll send it to you.
All right, so the proper question, I'm going to start with Dan. For the future of content creation, what trends will last and how should new creators stay relevant?
I said it earlier, I'm gonna say it again, nostalgia will never die. In whatever way that is. It's always there, it's always gonna live, and that comes back to being you. I mean, our age demographic here can all appreciate looking back at the 90s and the 2000s or 80s. You know, like we grew up on that stuff, we love that stuff. And the funny thing is, this generation even loves it too. So, nostalgia will never die. Trends are a trend for a reason. It doesn't last. So, it's hot to jump on in the moment, but trends will always change, so always be on the forefront of that. Always be kind of keeping your eyes open on what's changing, what's working. And something that I've also learned is picture yourself in front of an audience and what you're about to say, do, perform. Do you think they'll react to it? If they react to it, then everyone that's watching you on the social media side of things will do the same thing. They'll like, they'll comment. So think of it that way too. But for me, nostalgia has been a huge thing. It doesn't matter what I post. When I do something that's old school, it always takes off. So.
I would say authenticity. Just show up as yourself because you don't have to perform. When it becomes a performance, it's too much. So just continue to show up as yourself. You don't have to remember who you were yesterday. You don't have to remember what you said you believed in. You don't have to remember, oh, what did I say my bodies were. Just show up authentically yourself. Because like they were saying earlier, people see authenticity. They're not looking for the AI videos who are perfect in perfection. Because perfection is a man-made idea. Nothing is perfect. So be able to remember that. Show it as yourself.
I would say, like you said, just being authentic. Don't get caught up on the little stuff. If you have an idea, post it. Don't get caught up on editing as well. Like I have 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I just started using CapCut like 2 weeks ago. I swear, I pick up the phone. Even the movie views, they was blurry, they was dark. So it's gonna be just grow as you go. Like don't get caught up on, don't buy them lights, all that stuff. Just your phone and wipe that camera off. Don't know about your day.
Yeah, I think we're all saying pretty much the same thing. Authenticity, but also just your weird thing that you think nobody else is gonna like. You know, stripping down the putting on airs for the internet. It's the internet. Most people are sitting on the toilet scrolling. Okay? You just have to stop somebody on the toilet. I think I saw who was that? Kev on stage said that, like, you guys are overthinking it. Like, you just have to stop somebody who's scrolling on the toilet. You know, if you think about it that way, it's like, why am I overthinking anything? Like, and most people, you can't even tell me, you probably watched 20, 30, 40, 50 videos today, you probably only remember a few. So, I think in is authenticity and getting used to talking. The era of like just standing in front of the camera and being cute, get him out of here. I want you to just show up and talk. Show up, get used to talking and hearing yourself talk, talking to the camera. The more you do that, the more empowered you feel, the easier it gets to do something like posting every day. It sounds daunting when you're not used to listening to your own voice, when you're not used to picking up the camera or picking up the phone. So getting used to talking, showing up, and authenticity.
I think there's a theme here. Authenticity is it. Show up as you. Show up authentically you, unapologetically you. I mean, be the best version of yourself if you want to get on camera or whatever the case is. But sometimes you're going to show up that version that you never thought you would put on camera, right? You're going to be tired. You're going to not even want to have a conversation, but it might be a thought that comes to your mind that you want to display to your audience, or you're going to want to be vulnerable to them. And then secondly is consistency. There's no such thing as in you blowing up on social media and you don't show up. You've got to be consistent, okay? I mean, even when you're sick, you got to be consistent. Let your folks know you're sick. Let them know, hey, I ain't doing videos today because I'm sick. Let them know that you had surgery. Let them know, what's going on with you. You're going on vacation. So you may not be able to post as many videos or whatever the case is. But if they don't know what's going on with you, they're not gonna look for you, right? You want your folks to come on social media looking for you. Like, where's she at? What kind of fragrance she got on today? What kind of...
That's my favorite comment, when people be like, shh, my show is on.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about it.
Everyone's great, and there's no time limit to how long we're friends. I took breaks pretty much. I just started posting like 2 days ago. Because like I said, I have a chronic illness, so I was sick, and I was like, let me chill out. But like they were saying, make sure your people know what's going on with you. No, what's going on with you. But however much time you need, don't rush back into it. Just take a burnout again, and you go right back on another break. So identify why you're taking that break and what you can do to do some self-care and get yourself back to it.
I would say if your goal is to be consistent, I really try not to go more than 3 days because TikTok gonna punish you and it's hard to get out of that hole. Once you get in it, I took 2 weeks off and my videos, they were the lowest they had ever been since I started TikTok. So if TikTok's so bad, but I would say change the content, do content that's less energy. Like for me, I have to take a break from the food reviews. My chin be getting big sometimes. I be, you know how much cardio I have to do my chin? That would be the first thing your face to start getting big. So I have to take a break. Look right, but I have to take a break, but just switch. And then I just start talking about, I have a topic they're so easy to just talk about and just complain about, you know. So my daughter always goes so crazy, but every time food reviews, I'm like, let me tell you what my daughter did. And those do pretty well. So just change the content, do something that's a lot less effort and more aligned to like what you already doing.
Just to add to it real quick, just so you kind of know what does happen when you do take a break. I know a lot of people ask that question. We all, and I'm sure we all know this, but the time span, like attention span for what people are watching is so little. So if we do take a break and step away, our community starts to look at somebody else. Just so you know, now you're more important than worrying about that, right? Like your mental state is way more important, so you don't want to let that be something like, well, I gotta sacrifice my mental state. No, don't worry about that. But just so you know what happens typically when we take a break and why those views start to tank a little bit is because you're having to work to get them back to kind of seeing your consistency and seeing you there, which is why it pays off to say what's going on, because they will come.
Alrighty, next question.
Hi. Thank you. I'm not the content creator my wife is, but she's a little bit more shy than me, so I'm gonna ask this question. She has been recently blowing up into free content, as in businesses will reach out to us, give us free everything. Tractor Supply Co, brand, like clothing brands and all that. It's all free stuff. So when you guys are talking about monetization, how would you say you would transition? She already has a media package and everything. I don't know if you guys have that, but you send out like a media package.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking is like, what's the best way to transition from offering your services to for free to now you're getting income off of it?
To start charging.
See that?
I know it sounds like really like pedantic, but what I'm saying is when they reach out to you, right, especially if it's a brand that you have a relationship with already, work with them already, pitch them something. Pitch them something. And what usually works for me and what has a good conversion rate is when I come to the brand with an idea. Hey, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I don't know what Tractor Co does.
And the Masters are coming up.
Yeah, Masters are coming up. You know what I mean? Like, so you come with an idea. Hey, the Masters are coming up, and I know your business is looking to get some marketing and get some eyes on your business, and I have this idea, and I'll create 3 reels for you or 3 TikToks for you, and you know, with this amount of usage, you don't have to go into the nitty-gritty with usage right now, early on, but you can say that and say, and this is my rate. Boom. That's where the starting point, right? Because the brand's job as a brand is to get as much as they can for as little as possible, and it's not personal. It's just, if they can keep their overhead low, that's what they're gonna do. So the first thing to do is to decide what your rate is and charge. And if they say, that's, you know, we don't have the budget for that, okay, I'm willing to work with you. Like, we have to get really comfortable with knowing and intrinsically feeling that your content has value. And so when you start there with, hey, I'm valuable, right? Even if it just gets one person to go click on your link, even if it gets one person to buy something, knowing that you have value, and then when you go into the conversation with the brand that way, you can start to negotiate and start a baseline, right? And it may be that they could say, I don't have a budget at all, and you end there, but you'll be able to kind of keep that in mind and keep them in, they'll have you in their forefront of their mind, right? Especially if you guys have had a relationship and you've been receiving free products and you've been creating content for them for free. That's something that you can kind of start to build that relationship.
Another way is if you're on TikTok Shop, right? And a lot of those sellers on there, they're gonna want to give you free product in order to post the link. You can always go back to them and ask them for higher commission. Even if they don't have it in the budget to pay you right then, ask them for higher commission, but don't shortchange yourself on that commission either, because you will be surprised in how much they are willing to give up in order to let you push yourself, because that's how they look at it. When you're working for commission, as in you're pushing yourself, you're making that content, you're gonna put out the best content you can, because now you gotta really work for it. That's how they look at it, which is fine, right? But I'm gonna ask for 50%. I'm gonna ask for it. And then it's gonna be their job to come back and say, well, I can't do 50%, but I can do 35. But guess what? If I had asked them for 25%, but now I know they can do 35, I just shortchanged myself. So if you're on TikTok Shop, ask for those higher commission rates. And also, if you're on TikTok Shop, find an agent. If you don't have an agent that you're working with that can get you those higher commissions, that can get you those paid deals, listen, they are out there. Most of them are WhatsApp now, okay? Most of them are on WhatsApp. But they are out there and they will get you those deals, and you do not have to sign with an agent. You can just have them work for you, because you're using their codes or their links to those products helps them on their end. So they're not getting any money off of you, and do not pay any of these agents. You don't have to pay for that service. They're gonna get that money from the seller themselves. So find an agent if you can, and work with an agent, and also ask for high commission.
Real quick, I would say know your worth and know how to pick yourself as a creator, because if they're reaching out to you, then they see your value. It's just important for you to see your value and for you to be able to sell yourself. For a lot of times, for a long time, I was doing reviews for free. But if you search on TikTok right now, place to eat in Columbia, you're gonna see me, you're gonna see Ashley, you're gonna see this guy named Ken Walker. So if I'm one of the top food reviewers, you want me in your restaurant because you know I can bring people. People are not looking at billboards, looking at newspaper. TikTok has replaced Google as the #1 search engine, so they're using that to search. So you have to know that, so you can tell the brand how you are beneficial to them. And charge your price and stick with it. People gonna tell you no, but okay, somebody gonna tell you yes, and that's when you gonna get the money. But I wouldn't say don't do anything for free, but do what you want to do for free.
And if you're gonna do it for free, also check, just like you said about TikTok Shop, check where the other places that product exists. If you don't have an Amazon storefront, you should have an Amazon storefront. You should have an LTK. Start linking stuff, okay? If you're doing stuff for free, find other ways that you can make commission off of that product if you already have a relationship with the brand, right? If you're trying to monetize, we need to explore all of your options for monetization, right? And even, I think TikTok now is promoting movies and TV shows, and so is Amazon. If you wanna just get on TikTok and talk about your favorite TV show you're watching, that's easy content. I can talk all day long about Real Housewives, okay? And get somebody to go watch the next episode or click on something. Those are things that are like easy content, but also you're maxing out your monetization capabilities.
If you want to do the commission, do the commission. If you want to do pay for post, do pay for post. But you want to invest in one. You can do a little of both in early, but once it starts picking up, you kind of want to pick a direction so that you can invest your brand into that direction, and that will help you maybe land some more of those opportunities.
I want to give a huge thanks to
Lean into the tension for release. Good things come with ease. Don't resist. Thoughts and words hold power to make life